Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on cancel culture and my opinion on it. Now the reason for that is because, as most of you know, a little over a year ago, cancel culture came for me because I used the K word in 2010. I'm not going to go into detail with regards to that. Spoken about it to death. If you still believe I'm a racist right now, I can't help you. Then your opinion is your opinion. I don't give two shits, if I'm honest with you. The reason I want to talk about cancel culture is because this past weekend, Gayton McKenzie has been trending for his use of the K word multiple times from 2010, I believe, up until 2024, right before he became a minister. Now, let me unequivocally state that I'm against cancel culture. And the only thing that I actually want cancelled is cancel culture. Do I believe that Gayton McKenzie should be cancelled for him using hurty words? No. It is absolutely idiotic. If you want to cancel somebody and remove somebody from their position because they've said a word that offends you and even to an extent might be racist. And the reason I say that is because in South Africa, we have got so many issues to worry about. And racism isn't even in the top 10. We can look at the state of infrastructure in this country. We can look at the state of service delivery in the country. We can look at the state of electricity in this country. We can look at the murder rate, which is 84 murders a day. We can look at sexual violent offenses, where there's a few every couple of seconds that take place in this country. We can look at the unemployment rate, where more than 45% of the people are unemployed, and the youth, it goes up to 60%. Now, I really want to ask you, if you have an individual that has done everything to show you through action that they want to solve the problems of South Africa, and then somebody goes and dig up an old video or some old things being said, and now they compare the two with you right now and say, this person needs to be cancelled because they said something offensive and something racist and I don't agree with it. Listen, if somebody acts racist, like not using just a term loosely, I'm talking about directing the term at somebody, then of course steps need to be taken. However, I'm of the firm belief that the only time that words should cause you to be incarcerated is if those words lead to the death of people or if you are inciting violence. That is the only time that I believe that you should be taken to court and possibly incarcerated for the use of your words. Because let's be real, Gayton McKenzie has done a phenomenal job within sport, rec, arts and culture. You can feel however you want about the individual, like his ego, his personality, how he talks to people, how he treats people. That's fine. You are entitled to believe what you want to believe. But do you think that compared to the last couple of sports ministers that South Africa has had, is Gayton McKenzie better than the last 5 sport ministers? I think your answer will be an unequivocally yes. So, do you want Gayton McKenzie now to lose his position in Parliament and lose his ministerial position within cabinet because he said hurty words that didn't really impact anybody? Yes, the word should not be uttered by people because it's a disgusting word, right? No, it's rich coming from me, but believe it or not, I haven't used that word since 2010, and the only time I used it was to illustrate a point, all right? But we've reached that point where cancel culture eventually comes for everybody, even the people that believe that it's not going to come for him. A prime example, last year when cancel culture came for me, Gayton McKenzie jumped on the bandwagon. Now first he defended me, but ultimately he condemned me and said that I'm a racist and he was fine with me being cancelled. Full circle later, here we are right now, and everybody's calling for Gayton McKenzie to be cancelled. In a couple of months, it'll be somebody else. In a couple of months after that, it'll be somebody else. And so the cycle continues. The only thing that I want cancelled is cancel culture, because it's just a short high that people experience, and then people move on with their lives. And the reason I say that is because what great stuff could I not have achieved as a member of parliament? Take away the salary, because it's never been about the salary, and I'm doing fine right now in this normal position that I am in, making YouTube videos, owning businesses, doing consulting, all of that. The point that I'm leading to is, if I was still in Parliament, I would be able to have helped the people of my constituency in Uitenhage, the people in the Eastern Cape. I would have been able to represent people nationally. Unfortunately, because people want people to be cancelled, I was robbed of that opportunity because of something I said 15 years prior. And that's the other thing. When people jump on this cancel culture bandwagon, they are very quick to go and find dirt on you from many, many, many years ago. Now the question is, do these people firstly believe that people can't change over a long period of time? Secondly, the people that want others cancelled, what are they hiding? What do they have in their closets? How big are their skeletons? Because every single person in South Africa has got something to hide. They have done something that they don't want other people to know about. Now that can go from using a racial slur all the way up to stealing billions of rands that nobody knows about right now. So ultimately, cancel culture comes for everybody. And what is the point? What does it serve? Because you go on, you want to cancel somebody, you manage to get it done, and then what? What have you achieved? In actual fact, majority of the time, the people that you try and cancel or the people that you cancel end up either becoming bigger than they were before. I mean, with all due respect, the entire internet and social media came after me. And I believe when that happened, I was just over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, I am. My YouTube channel is doing the best that it's ever done. My meetings every day are with people that met with me previously. I haven't lost any friends. In actual fact, I've gained so many friends. Black, white, colored, and Indian. So this cancel culture thing is something that needs to be cancelled. We need to get to a point where if somebody says something that hurts your feelings, get over it. Get over it. I don't understand why words have more bearing than actual action in this country. And a great example of that is just to look at what distraction this cancel culture has caused. Now, on the very same day that Gayton McKenzie and the internet went after the Open Chats podcasts, that is what mainstream media was talking about. On that day, that was what social media and mainstream media was talking about non-stop, right? But what was actually going on, it was the first day that United States tariffs against South Africa was implemented, meaning that everybody that wants to export something from South Africa, the tariff increased by 30%, costing this country hundreds of thousands of jobs over the next few months, as well as billions upon billions of rands. Now, do you think, which story is more important? 3 podcasters on YouTube saying some bad, hurty words that doesn't really impact anybody. I'm 100% sure that not a single individual went to go and see a psychologist after watching that podcast. So it caused no lasting damage to anybody, right? But yet the media focused all their attention, and social media focused all their attention on them, right? The tariffs, on the other hand, impacts over 100,000 people and impacts every single South African, with our GDP not growing, and of course inflation going to increase because of this. Now that has a direct impact on every single person in South Africa, but mainstream media focuses their attention on this and doesn't talk about that. Also, cancel culture gives mainstream media the opportunity to generate income, because if you type in Gayton McKenzie right now on Google and you click on the news tab, go and check how many articles have been written about Gayton McKenzie. And every single click that mainstream media gets is a click that turns into money. So ultimately, who benefits from cancel culture? Firstly, it's not the people that are actually asking people to get cancelled, because there's no real benefit for them other than just a very short period of gratification that they get, right? Mainstream media gets all the benefit from cancel culture because they can just rehash the story, which once again is clearly illustrated now with me. They broke the news on me, they made a lot of noise a year ago, and now because Gayton McKenzie is going through the same thing, now they can just rehash what happened to me. So, you know, everybody is saying, what happened to Renaldo must not happen to Gayton McKenzie. Now let me be unequivocal. with regards to Gayton McKenzie, because the comparison has been made time and time again. What happened to Renaldo must now happen to Gayton McKenzie. No. Stop this bullshit right now. I spoke about the double standards of racism 15 years ago, and my point has been proven time and time again through Andile Mnatama, Julius Malema, Floyd Shivambu, Ndlozi. Everybody that has said things worse than what I said, but they are still in parliament. They are still there representing people, even though they are the actual racists, right? I don't care personally for Gayton McKenzie, but I do not feel comfortable that somebody should be removed from their positions because they said hurty words. That is how idiotic this is. I'm not saying that we should utter the word. I think we should consider one another and try and be the best type of human beings towards one another. If you threaten somebody and that leads to imminent violence, then you deserve to go to jail. If your words that you have uttered leads to the death of people, you should be held accountable. If you say things that offend people, you should not go to jail for that. You should not. People should just know that you are a terrible human being. That is what the outcome of that should be. So stop this comparison between myself and Gayton McKenzie. Yes, both of us uttered the K word a couple of years ago. I mean, Gayton McKenzie has kept on the pattern though. But ultimately, let's cancel culture. How's about that? We've got far more serious issues to worry about in this country than racism. Because everybody these days is a racist. You know, you can accuse somebody of being a racist, and then if 2 or 3 more people say it, then that person's a racist. But then ultimately, what does it mean to be a racist? What is the punishment of being a racist in South Africa? Oh, people look at you and they go, oh, you're a racist. Okay, great. And we know that the level of being a racist in South Africa has gotten to that point where if you just disagree with somebody of a different race than you, then you can be called a racist. If you raise your voice too loudly when the two of you argue, then you can be labeled a racist. So ultimately, what does all of this matter? Does Gayton McKenzie do important work as a sports minister? I believe he does. Is he better than the last 5 or 6 ministers of sport? Yes, I believe that. So, therefore, I believe that his use of the K word, it should be condemned. Of course, people should say, don't use the word. But should he lose his job because of it? Hell no. Hell no. So, media, if you're watching this and you want to get a soundbite from me, here's my soundbite. Stop canceling people. Stop reporting on racism when there are far more important things that you should be reporting on. Because ultimately, racism isn't one of the big issues in South Africa in 2025. It might have been in the 80s and the 90s. It's not in 2025. I've listed earlier what the big issues are in South Africa. And unfortunately, mainstream media doesn't do enough to cover that. But hey, when a racist incident takes place, every single media house covers it. And that tells you everything you need to know. So, to end off this video, let's cancel culture. For the love of God, please, let's do that. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash the like button. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Please be sure to share this video far and wide if you agree with what I just said. And lastly, if you support me and you support this channel, then please consider becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later, cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre.